over to Angie Lassman for that. Hey, Angie.
Hi, guys. We, of course, know hurricane season is far from over, and we're watching an area in the Gulf of Mexico, specifically the western Gulf of Mexico, now a tropical disturbance, but has a really good chance of developing into something. Will it be potentially a tropical depression or maybe a tropical storm by the end of the weekend? Well, we'll have to watch and see, but we are going to see some additional rain expected for the state of Florida here, whether it develops or not. Notice some of those spaghetti models taking it basically into the western portions of Florida. There's still a bit of a spread from the American model, but it looks like, again, either way, no matter where the system's center is, we likely will see the potential for some additional heavy rain for the state of Florida. This is going to start here as we mainly get into the later parts of today and into tomorrow with some precursor kind of rain, and then really ramp up as we get into the middle of the week. What is it by the middle of the week? Maybe a tropical storm, maybe a low-end hurricane. We will see. It does have plenty of fuel to tap into with the Gulf of Mexico. We know with Helene, this has been something that we talked about a lot, where those waters are just running way warm for this time of year. Helene did cool it down a little bit, but notice still 2 to 4 degrees above average. It'll encounter a little bit of some wind shear, so that of course is not good for development, but still we've got plenty of rain on the way for the state of Florida. Notice some of these numbers. 3 to 5 inches of rain from Tampa to points south. We know, of course, the storm surge and the flooding concerns that they dealt with in the Tampa Bay area, so folks still cleaning up. But we've got the potential to see over 8 inches of rain possible, so this is going to be something that we'll have to watch well into the middle of next week with more of that potential for flooding. Let's look at the weather across the country. Let's see what's happening in your neighborhood.
Look, especially at the hot temperatures out west right now.
Yeah, boy, it's not feeling like autumn for most of the country. And we've even got some fire concerns today, too. Across parts of the plains, it'll be warm, but we'll also have those wind gusts over 70 miles per hour in some spots. So no surprise that we've got the red flag warnings up for a lot of folks this morning, and those will last through the day today. Meanwhile, those temperatures, they will get your attention. We've got 29 million people under these alerts, stretching from San Francisco to Los Angeles and out towards Phoenix, as we gear up for a couple of spots to once again reach the triple digits today. Phoenix specifically has been on an 11-day streak of temperatures breaking the record highs. Today we'll continue all of that warmth across the middle of the country too. That lasts well through the weekend. Let's look at the weather across the country. Let's see what's happening in your neighborhood.
Check the weather. What you got, Angie?
Hi, guys. The tropics are unfortunately very busy. We've got a couple of things to talk about. We've got a tropical disturbance coming off the coast of Africa. We're not going to worry too much about that or Hurricane Leslie. Honestly, that's going to be a fish storm. Hurricane Kirk is Category 3 right now. It's going to not impact the United States except for maybe some high risk of rip currents, but it could potentially impact London as we get into the middle and late parts of next week. But we are going to watch specifically this tropical disturbance in the western Gulf of Mexico. Has a good chance of developing here as we get through the weekend, maybe tomorrow or maybe even Monday. Either way, it's going to bring a whole lot of rain to the Gulf Coast, specifically the state of Florida. That's going to ramp up here starting tomorrow, and it'll continue into the middle of the week. Whether it develops and what it develops into is the big question. Probably a tropical depression, maybe a tropical storm, again, by the end of the weekend. But as we get through the weekend, we'll start to watch for the potential for this to get its act together, maybe becoming a tropical storm or hurricane by the time it impacts the state of Florida. We will possibly be looking at the potential for that to make landfall in the state of Florida down the line. But we've got a lot of time until that happens. Rain chances, though, they're well over 5 to 7 inches possible. Let's look at the weather across the country. Let's see what's happening in your neighborhood.
Okay, as if Chewy the dog wasn't good enough. Before we go this morning, Peter, an important first for you. I was surprised to hear that it was a first. Your first magazine cover.
Show it.
Look at that Diablo cover star.
People magazine, call him.
Quickly, I want to apologize to my family, friends, and neighbors in the Bay Area because my mom's going to be handing out magazines instead of candy this Halloween. This was such an honor, and thanks to the folks at Diablo for helping me celebrate 20 years and to represent the Bay Area back east as always.
Bogus.
And I was just going to say, all joking aside, it was about your search for the truth.